5-0. How's it going, everybody? Back here tonight to recap Patriots Redskins. The Patriots prevail 33-7 over the Washington Redskins yesterday in Landover, Maryland. A game that, frankly, was over before it started, but the first half was rough on offense. Another hellacious interception from Tom Brady. But positive developments from yesterday. Running game got going in the second half for the first time all year, really. Felt like the running game got going strong. Offensive line remains an issue. Defense continues to be absolutely brilliant. So there's not much really you can talk about from that game because it was another one of these games that have happened this year that were just useless. Frankly, just useless. The Patriots, even though they struggled in the first half, did any of us really feel they were ever in danger of losing the game? They weren't losing to that team yesterday. And black tie in memoriam of Jay Gruden's career as Redskins head coach. He was dismissed at 5 a.m. this morning. In a typical Daniel Snyder move, he is called to the facility at 5 o'clock and fired at the facility at 5 o'clock. What a dirtbag Daniel Snyder is, and he remains that way. And I really, for the sake of the NFL and the sake of the Redskins organization, hope someone pushes him out of power soon. Because someone needs to save that organization. And evidence yesterday, above all else, was just the amount of Patriots fans in the crowd at FedEx Field. And, yeah, like we talked about it a lot last week. It's sad to see how the Redskins are and just how anemic that franchise has become. But we're not here to talk about the Redskins. So my stars from yesterday's game, Sony Michel, definitely looked really good. Julian Edelman, another good game. Third star, I'm going to go with Dante Hightower because, again, good pressure there. Duds, Mike Nugent, easily confused them. Mike Nugent. Brady in the first half wasn't good, but, in the second half did his job, so I'm going to leave Brady off the list. Second down, I'm going to go the entire offensive line. Whew. I really wish Trent Williams got on that plane with them back from D.C. I really wish they did. Whew, man, that group needs some work. And last down, again, hard to decipher here, but because of the injury, Philip Dorsett, I'll go with him. And that's a big concern. Dorsett, with a hamstring injury, that doesn't look like it's too good. And they're playing Thursday this week, so that could be a problem. That could be a big problem. But what I really want to talk about more than anything else is how, after watching the Kansas City Chiefs last night, how I feel the Patriots are the most well-rounded team in the NFL. That Chiefs team, and Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs team are brilliant. And they're tremendous, and they're going to be right there. I think the team itself is a tad overrated, but Patrick Mahomes is otherworldly. And you're never going to hear me try and diminish how brilliant and how talented he is. But there are still some flaws on that defense. And you saw it last night. The Colts went in there and ran them over. That's a big one. They just ran the ball down their throat, like the Patriots did to them in the playoffs last year. I'm honestly stunned that they didn't trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Or maybe Jalen Ramsey. That's one. And another trade topic we need to talk about here is possible targets for the Patriots, as we're approaching the deadline coming at the end of the month. Apparently there's about to be a fire sale out in Denver. Players, pretty much every Bronco except for Von Miller and Bradley Chubb are going to be made available. So do you want Emmanuel Sanders? It's a guy Belichick has liked for a while. I would love to have Manny Sanders in a Patriots uniform. I've always been one of my favorite players in the league. If they can get him for a third or fourth round pick, I'd be all for it. The problem is cap, and which gets me to today's move of the releasing of tight end Ben Watson, and how much that Antonio Brown contract is really biting the Patriots in the butt right now. Because there's some dead cap space on the books from that deal. There's also dead cap space from guys like Adrian Claiborne and Rob Gronkowski still on their books. And the Brown signing, for everyone who said there was no risk, yes, there was. That was a pretty big deal for 1 year. And it's now biting them in the butt. Because now they have very little cap room to add to this team. And there are needs. There are needs at receiver. There are needs on the offensive line. There's needs at tight end. And to the point where today they had to cut Ben Watson before they could activate him from the suspension list. Because they're that tight against it. So they're going to need to restructure a deal, maybe a McCourty or a Hightower or one of these bloated veteran contracts to get the cap room they need to make the in-season additions they're going to have to make. Because they're going to have to make some. Because right now, while I think this is the most well-rounded team in the NFL, there are flaws that can become fatal if they aren't improved. Like the offensive line, like the receiving depth, and like the tight end play. So like I said, not a long show tonight. Just giving you my thoughts on what's upcoming in the trade market. Because that game yesterday was, again, over before it started. So, not much to talk about there. Tomorrow will be a Bruins show. Wednesday, we will preview the Patriots-Giants game on Thursday night. Thursday, I might not do a show Thursday because of the game itself, so I might do a show on Friday and Saturday. Later in the week, I want to get into some Celtics and some baseball playoffs, as the LDSs should be wrapped up by Friday. And I want to recap those, and in retrospect, I think it's safe to say that if the Red Sox had made the playoffs, they couldn't compete with the Yankees or Astros. They just weren't on those teams' levels this year. Not this year. They obviously were better than last year, but clearly not on the same level this year. So, that's all I got for tonight. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow for a Bruins show. Have a good night.